Beletahunter Productions Publishing. This is a book club recommendation and excerpt reading. This week's book title is Grow Up Already. This is also a part of the Homesteading series. It is in paperback as well as Kindle format. This book was published in January 2022 and is written by Tanya Hunter. Growing and maintaining a vertical green wall not only saves space, but it mimics the trees and vines that grow in nature. In nature, you can find greenery climbing and living in trees, up against rocks, or over a hill. It is important to consider the plant size, growth speed, and whether they grow well with other plants. So, what are you waiting for? Grow up already. I have always been approached by others with concerns for a lack of space, and I am told that lack of space is a deterrent and a reason that he or she does not want to grow any plants. I, in my response to them, say, grow up already. I want them to think vertically, understanding that space is all around us, not just in front of us or behind us, but space is also above us. You can still have your favorite plants. I once visited a friend of mine's house and I was met with this alley. As I turned into the alley, it was very narrow, about 70 foot long and about 25 feet high. It was all brick wall, but it was covered with plants on both sides. So, if you want a house filled with plants and you live in a small space, consider growing your plants vertically and grow up already. Living in a small apartment or in an urban area can be challenging when considering growing anything. In my past writings, I spoke of having a homestead mindset and becoming a modern homesteader. I mentioned how one can still have and maintain a garden regardless of the space. One of the ways I suggested that one can achieve this is by growing plants in containers and to grow them vertically. In this reading, however, I explore a little more on the vertical planting. Vertical planting is a solution to planting plants in a small area, but it does not come without its own challenges. One challenge is understanding what vertical growing means. Knowing what plants can be grown vertically, what plants can be grown together, fear of height, inconvenience of harvesting from a height, tools needed to attach vertical plants, and watering options. Some people think that vertical growing means that you only grow a few container plants, but nothing can be further from the truth. Benefits of having a vertical growth save space, but because you are growing up, you can grow up to 4 times as many plants. You can grow a tower, or you can grow 10 plants in the same space that it would take if you were growing one plant. You can use a climbing wall and grow as many plants as height you have, or the height you are willing to go up. There are some plants that will climb and climb and climb and trail on their own, and you can also use them to grow on your ceiling. One wall climbing method is using pocket planting. This is where you can choose a canvas or a similar fabric that contains pockets. This can be done using a simple shoe hanger or anything that contains pockets as long as it is strong enough. So just make sure that this is strong enough to hold the plants as they grow. First, secure the pocket panels to the wall very well on both ends and on the top and bottom. And you may want to add some type of security to the middle as well because you don't know how heavy your plants are going to be once they begin to grow and once you water them. Watering plants are also going to add weight. So you want to make sure that it is secured because you do not want the weight of the plants to pull down once they are watered or is heavy with their growth. Then fill each pocket with soil or a growth medium that you are using. You can then start your raw garden with seeds, young seedlings, or just regular plants. I prefer starting with young seedlings if this is your first time doing a growing on a climbing wall. This climbing wall can be done inside the home as well as outside the home. Just sure if you are choosing the inside that you are considering how and where the water is going to drain. Another method is tower growing. Tower growing, that is where you have several towers. They usually stand about 6 feet high, and each tower can hold around 100 plants. You can actually use a regular floor-to-ceiling revolving shoe tower that you already have around the house, but you will have to modify it to hold your plants and to accommodate watering. Thank you for listening to this book reading excerpt by the author. I appreciate your attention. This book and other books can be found wherever